Thank you, Dean. Thanks for that great overview on CommunicateNOW. So there have been a few questions that have come in while you were speaking, so I am going to read them off to you. The first question that came in is that this person wanted to have you explain how you charge differently from other email marketing service providers.
So it's real simple. Basically, the formula to calculate is how many emails are the most that they're going to send in one day. Based on that number, we then associate a plan for them based on that. So if I can just go back to the slide real quick, we have some simple things that says, hey, if they're going to send up to 5,000 emails a day, all the way up to 300,000 emails a day. And we do have larger plans. These are just the most common.
Great. Thanks for that explanation, Dean. So the other question that kind of builds on that one is this person wants to know, how is CommunicateNOW different from the other email marketing service providers out there?
No, that's a really good question because, at the end of the day, they get a chance to upload their contacts. They get to communicate with them. They get results, based on it. But really some of the things that really come to the top is it's a one instance per one customer on either a virtual or dedicated server, and they get to own that IP address. And ultimately what that means is if they're playing fairly, their IP address is going to stay clean, and they're going to get a better delivery. They're going to be able to, by having their own IP address, apply things like SPF records that are going to announce to the world that this IP address is approved to send by this name. So meaning that they're announcing to the world that they are who they are. The benefit is they will get a higher delivery rate. The drawback is that if they're not playing fairly, if they're buying lists and they're spamming people and they're not playing fairly, they will not only get blacklisted from their broadcast server, but it will impact potentially their website and their email servers. So we're looking for and attracting companies that are playing fairly and they have a legitimate list that is looking to be communicated with, and we have this tool that based on that now, they're going to be able to deliver a higher percentage to those who want to hear from them.
Thanks, Dean. Another point around that is with the IP address coming from the end client itself versus the service provider, another benefit is that branding capability that they retain when they are sending the emails out. That send from address is found to be as equally important as the subject line in emails for people to decide whether or not to open it. So if it's coming from a trusted company name, somebody they know, somebody they've built familiarity with, they're more likely to open that email than it coming from, an unknown entity or a third-party provider.
That's correct. And also the things that benefit, talking along the line that you just mentioned, is that because it is associated with their domain name, it is associated to their IP address, we'll see many statistics that will show, during the bounce handlers, if they're just a soft bounce like somebody's out of office, or if somebody's saying, hey, we don't recognize this, please acknowledge, we'll see those communications that we were authenticated and that we were identified as a valid source. So in the spam filters, they see things like SPF records and dedicated IP addresses associated with the overall domain as a benefit. So there's huge benefits to having that IP address and that domain name identity instead of having it associated with a block of other people that are communicating under a same or similar IP range. So good point, Janine.
Yeah, great. That's a real key differentiator. Okay, so here's another question that's come in. This person wants to know, how long does it take to get set up and running?
Good question. The short answer is, if you place an order in the morning, by the next day we can have things up and running. But typically figure anywhere from 48 to 72 hours being the highest amount of time, depending on if you have any special requests like assistance with setting up SPF records or things like that.
Okay, good. Here's another one. How long does it take to process and send out emails?
That's a really good question, Janine, and it's difficult to answer. But the shorter answer is that our plans are based either on like virtual technologies where they're shared resources, but it's still as if it's their own, and like the 5,000 to 100,000 emails per day. Depending on how many they want to send out will dictate how long it takes. But under the other plans, that if you look at the bottom three plans, the 100,000, 200 to 300,000 a day, those are dedicated resources. Like one that was using the biggest server here that we have listed, they sent out over 130,000 emails in just a little over 1 hour. So dedicated resources we can control, and we have a much better SLA on that. The smaller plans, are shared resources, but it really dictates how many they want to send out. But if they want to, they can reach out to us and to our support line, and we can do a test or give them some feedback based on the number of emails and what plan they want to be on.
All right, good. Thank you for that explanation. So this person wrote, explain the difference between how the three different plans are billed. So I think they're asking, Dean, both how do you bill them and how do their customers get billed?
Okay, good question. So simply put, we have three relationships that we can work with you. The first relationship, or the C1, really is, it's an opportunity you pass to us, and we end up owning the relationship in a contractual sense because they'll contract with us and we'll bill them. The second one is through the C2 program, where the client they're set up as a reseller, just like as a person will be set up as an affiliate, and we'll associate that customer as a child account of the reseller. So if they come to us through the C2 program, we're going to bill them directly and we're going to support them directly, meaning that we are working directly with the end customer. However, if there are other opportunities, it will go back directly to the reseller partner. And then the third way which is the wholesale C3, or the CommunicateNOW 3 program, which really is a true reseller program where the billing relationship is between CommunicateNOW and the reseller. We are invoicing and billing the reseller directly, and we're supporting the reseller directly. And then the reseller partner is invoicing and supporting the customer directly. So those are the three ways. The affiliate is we bill them and support. The wholesale C2 is we're invoicing the end user and supporting the end user. And the C3 program is we're billing and supporting the reseller partner. We're not directly interacting with the partner's end customer.
Okay, good. So, Dean, you had mentioned that in the C2 program that if a customer of theirs purchases an additional product from you, that you would associate that purchase with the reseller who owns that account. What about in the C1 program? Would you do the same thing there if they send over a referral and that referral purchases additional product from you? Would they also get the commission for that additional purchase made by that referred opportunity?
That's a good question, Janine. And the affiliate program really is with people who don't want to be involved with the relationship. They want to do a handshake and not per se say be done with the relationship, but whatever we can do during that time, they get that one-time upfront commission. We've incurred the cost for the sales and the marketing and support. So that's why if they want to have that ongoing relationship, they really would fit into the C2 program. They wouldn't want to be an affiliate. But if they're okay with that and want to just handshake and say, here's this opportunity, the C1 really is, it's set up to be a one-time commission.
All right, great. So this question now that came in revolves around support. The person wanted to know what level of support is provided by Evolve in each of these programs, C3, C2, and C1? Is there a difference between the level of support that the reseller needs to provide in the C3 program versus the C2?
So those are good questions. So when I hear support, I think of many ways. Is it sales and marketing support? Is it really a technical support? So under the plans, the C3 plan really is they are acting as the Tier 1 support, meaning that if a customer has a question, something they don't know what to do, they're going to come to the reseller partner first. And if that reseller partner cannot answer or cannot resolve the issue, not their customer, but the reseller partner will work with our support directly. And in the other two relationships, if the end user has a question, they'll come directly to CommunicateNOW for support.
Okay, very good. Well, Dean, I don't see any more questions coming in, so I believe we've answered all the questions that were submitted from the attendees. So with that, I want to thank you again for having me be a part of this webinar and for you taking the time to share your information on CommunicateNOW and how it can benefit solution providers. I also want to thank everybody who has joined us today for this webinar. I want to let you know that the webinar has been recorded, and we will be sending out a link to that recording to all of you shortly. And also wanted to point out that we have a special gift for all of you who have attended today's webinar. We will be sending you a free download called Effective Email Marketing Best Practices. This is 5 practices in 5 minutes, some quick tips for you to help you improve your email marketing campaigns. And also on the screen as a reminder is the link to sign up for the 30-day money-back guarantee. Really no risk to you, so it's a great opportunity to try out this new email marketing service and see how it works for you and your clients. So again, thank you, Dean, and thank you all. And with that, we'll formally end today's webinar.